Hi everybody, welcome to today's webinar. We will start looking a little bit about what's new in Creo 6. So just the webinar agenda. So we'll look at a few of these things. We look at the augmented reality stuff, additive manufacturing, and a few other bits and pieces. Just the agenda. So I'm just going to do a quick introduction about boundary systems. Then I have a few slides on Creo 6.0, and then we'll jump into the demonstration, and I'll show you a few of the new things available. So just a little bit about myself. So I'm Pierre Venter. I'm part of the technical specialist team at Boundary Systems. I've been using Creo for about 9 years now, so a fair bit of experience in there. A little bit about Boundary Systems. So this is just some logos of the customers we service. So what we basically help them with is with some product lifecycle management. We do data management, CAD design, and consulting. We also do use our simulation products for these guys, and we also do product development. So I think some of the accreditations we have, I think the important ones are the Windshield certified implementers. We also a PTC preferred service provider, and also a certified training partner for PTC. And just again, some of the solutions we offer, I think our main focus is around the PTC products. We also do solid thinking, Iterate, and ZWCAD. Okay, so then I've prepared a few slides on the new stuff in Creo 6.0, and I'm going to start at the very basic level, and then we'll work it up to the more advanced things. So I think one of the things that PTC has done, they've made your picking and that type of thing a little bit easier. So they've expanded the mini toolbar. So you've got more options now when you use the mini toolbar. Like you can see here, you can, if you do an extrude, you can select to be symmetric or to a selected surface, and that's all on the right mouse button. So they've basically just took it a step further. Then also some nice model tree improvements. So as you activate components in large assemblies and things like that, it was sometimes a bit of a pain to find certain things. They've made some nice changes in the model tree to make that a little bit easier. And then also they changed the way the settings files are saved for the model tree. So they moved away from the tree.ctg file. So that's saved within the UI file now. And so a little bit different there for the guys that's doing the administrative tasks. Then they've updated a few dashboards, so the whole feature changed a little bit. The merge wall in sheet metal, they've changed that a little bit, and then there's a new dashboard for the definition of markers and cable ties as well. So I think the new dashboard things has been coming with each Creo release. PTC has made some of the features that they took away the old menu managers, so that's part of that. Then some nice new product enhancements. So on the sheet metal side, support for corner and corner seam and corner relief options with neighboring walls. So as you just do your sheet metal design parts now, it would look actually at the neighbor walls and things, and it would make the reliefs according to that. On the volume sweep, they've added, you can now create a helical trajectory curve. So as you do your volume sweep or your normal sweeps, you can have a tick box just to create the curve as well. That curve you can use then for other references or drive other things within Creo. Also a nice thing is your point projection. that you can use. So, jump to a slide there. So that's your point projection you can use also for references. So you pick your point and it will project that onto a surface or a datum plane. Also changed the drill tip angle. So the default value was, I think, 118. There's a config setting for that now. So if you're using non-standard tips or you need to specify that, there's a config setting for that, and you don't have to go and change that each time you create a hole. Then also automatic notification of new maintenance releases. So from Creo 6, if Creo 6.0.1 is out, you'll get a notification as soon as you start up Creo, and you can go and download the latest version. And then the Render Studio now support immersive appearances as well. And then some nice changes on the augmented reality stuff. So in previous versions, you could save 10 models. They've upped that to 10 models per user. You can also publish now from Creo Parametric, Creo Elements Direct, Windchill, and your Creo View packages as well. Then they also added some access rights to that. So like you can see on the bottom right-hand side, you can make it public, so anybody with the link can view your publishing parts. You can also restrict that and only give certain people right of way to see those. And then they also added a few view options. So support for HoloLens is there now, and you can also generate a QR code when you launch your AR experience. So I'll do one or two of those components in the demonstration. And then also Creo Simulate Live. So this was something that was introduced a while ago. They've just upped it a little bit within Creo 6. So it's basically just doing some simulation work on the fly. So as you design your parts, you can easily do a quick analysis, see where your part needs to be strengthened or where you can remove some material in some cases. So the initial capabilities were structural, thermal, and model. In Creo 6.0.1, they're going to expand that a little bit to mechanism loads, part level conditions, top level assemblies, and you can do a few other things with that. So really a nice thing that will be part of Creo. Then the additive manufacturing stuff. So they've expanded the Lattice Generation options you have. So I'll go through these in the demonstration as well. So you can have a user-defined lattices now as well, which is really nice. We just go and draw up what type of lattice you want, and you can use that when you do your 3D printing. I also added the downskin analysis. So you basically will give your component a reference, tell it needs to grow from that direction, and then you can have a little bit of an analysis of where those lattices need to be and what the orientation might be. In certain cases, it can save you a little bit of printing time and some material as well. Okay, and then I think the last slide is the topology optimization. So I think the big difference here is that you can do it within an assembly now. So really great. You don't have to do it on a single part in your assembly. You can go and activate this tool and optimize your component within the assembly. Then they've also changed some tools around that to make it a little bit easier for everybody. And then I think the nice one is you can take that through to freestyle, like you can see there with the bunnies there at the bottom, and you can reuse that information or within freestyle to quickly redesign or optimize your parts. Okay, so there's just a quick slide with the contact information. So you can quickly take a screenshot of that. Any technical questions regarding this webinar, you can drop me a mail. I'll get back to you. If I can't answer it, I'll get the right people involved and make sure you get an answer. If there's a sales related question, there's the sales email address. You can just drop them a mail. I'm sure the sales team will get back to you. Okay, so let's jump into Creo and I'll show you some of the new things in there. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll start off with a blank part and then just show you some of the new things. It's a lot easier than having a part with already some geometry on it. So let's just create something blank and let's work with that. So the first thing that I would like to show you is the new MiniBar options. So if I start an extrude, I can pick a point and I can do, let's do a simple block and a hole type of thing. I'm going to leave the dimensions. So on the right mouse button, I have OK. And now if you right click again, you'll see you'll have, I can make it a surface if I want to. I can make it a thickened sketch. I can add taper. I can cap ends. Well, as soon as I click that, then I can cap my ends if I need to. Okay, so it's just reducing the travel to the dashboard each time. So really, really a nice touch, make you a little bit more productive and a lot easier. And so just remember these right mouse button or the mini toolbars can be customized within the customized window in Creo. Okay, so let's just make that solid again. And let's say, okay. So maybe let me just edit definition this quickly. I just want to show you this as well. So you'll notice this is a little bit different as well in Creo 6. So your extrude and your surface options, it was all small icons just in a single row. They've changed that a little bit to make it easier. If you want to go and travel all the way, you don't have to do that. Everything on the right mouse button. Okay, so let's keep that extrude. And let's go and do the projection point. So I'm going to do a sketch first on this. I'm just going to do something like this, fairly simple. So this is a way that you can use the new projection point tool. So I'm going to say I'm going to start point, and I'm going to select the vertex here at the end of the sketch that I made. I'm going to tell it I want to project this point. And project it. I'm going to hold Control down. I'm going to select the bottom surface. You will see it projected that point to a surface. So really a nice tool if you're using a lot of points and curves and things like that, or curve through points. When you need to add a point on a curved surface, things like that. Draw a straight line, project it on there, and you can control it with geometry. So it's a nice top-down or relations-driven things that you can do with this specific tool. Yeah, so there's our point at the bottom, yeah, on the projected surface. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to the model tree. So there's some nice things that I like. So we're in a fairly large assembly here, quite a few components. So let me just clean the screen up a little bit. And I'm going to pick one part, and I'm going to say activate that. So notice what happened in the model tree. So this top half is grayed out. The assembly where that part is in is highlighted. The actual part is also highlighted, and you can fairly quickly pick up those parts by just scrolling down through your model tree. The way that I worked this before is I would use the search tool. So I would pick up a part name, start typing in the name, and then with the new filters as well, it will highlight the part eventually. The thing with that is I had to know the part number, or I needed some information around that component. Now I can just go click in the graphics window. It's going to gray out everything that I don't need, and it's going to highlight all the things that I need to see. So by just looking at this, I can see the part, and I can see what sub-assemblies was used. Right, so, and then also on the model tree, the new settings. So if you export your settings, you'll notice the default is the user customization file. So it's not the tree file anymore. All of this is saved in the UI file. So if you make any changes to it, it's going to save it automatically in there. Next time you open up Creo, it's going to have those settings. Okay. You can still go and import settings. So you have a specific UI file you want to use, you can still import that. And then also, we have this new icon. So if you have icon or certain columns within your Creo environment, things like showing up mass properties or material things, you can add these columns, and by just clicking the visibility icon here, you can quickly switch that on and off. So I only have one column here, but if you have 3, 4, your graphics window can be a little bit too small, and then you had to go into your settings and disable it there. Now you have the icon, just one click and your graphics window is back to normal. Okay, so really nice on the model tree. Let's just activate our top level again, get it back to normal. And then I think I'm going to move on to our next components. No, I want to go back to our original one. I forgot to show you something here. So I'm going to quickly create the new hole. And you can see the new dashboard. So like with the extrude, it was the icons all in one row. Now you have it over there, or you have it on the mini toolbar as well. Some of the settings, depending on what you're going to do. So let's first select where we want to place the hole. Pick the edges, doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to make it standard draw. And if you go to the shape, we'll see my default is 118. Okay, so let's go into our configuration options. I click on configuration editor, and let's just quickly find, I think I can just type in drill, that should bring it up. There's the drill hole tip angle, so the default value is set at 118. Let's say we use specialized drills, so we want that at 105 or whatever the value can be. I'm not going to save that now. And if we do the hole again, there's the value at 105. So there's a few configuration options that PTC added in this release where you can have default values. I'll show you a little bit later where to go and get those. Okay, so that's the new hole dashboard. A little bit easier to work with everything, and some default values that you can change. Okay, for the next one, let's go to the sheet metal component. So what they've changed here is the merge. So you'll notice we have our planar wall over here, and we have another planar wall and an extrude in between. Okay. So maybe not the best way to design this particular component, but it's going to show us the new merge tool. So it's just different walls that I've created, and now I need to tell Creo that it needs to be one, and from there we can create our flat patterns and everything. Okay, so we're going to go to we're going to go merge, merged walls. And you can see it's got the new dashboard environment as well. In Creo 5, it was still the menu managers here on the right-hand side. So we've worked away with that. And we just go and pick our references. So we pick our first plate and then the merged geometry. And that's going to merge the walls. Okay. So fairly straightforward and easy to use. The other one that I wanted to show you is if you jump between your flat walls and your flange walls. So let's create a flange wall on this edge over here. Okay, so just standard. And if I go and select a flat wall now, and I pick the same edge, notice that these edges are also orange now. That means Creo has picked them up and it added this relief in here as well. In previous versions, you had to either do it all in one, or you have to go and manually add those. So what happens now in Creo, it will look at the neighboring walls and it will add the default ref or the default reliefs. So working with a lot of sheet metal components, that's really a nice thing to make your life a little bit easier. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So the next one is the lattices that I want to show you. So remember, they've added a few options in there. So I already added that in there. So I'm just going to edit definition these, and we can work our way a little bit through this. So you have different lattice types now. So this is we're just going to do the 2.5D now. You can have a formula driven, and then you can have the custom one as well. As soon as you have the custom one, you can go and open up a component. This is already defined, so maybe it's not a good idea to go and get a definition that lets create one from scratch. So the icons is available. So custom, so I can open up a cell and I can go and I can browse. So there's maybe one that I've quickly drawn up earlier today. So I can use that and I can add it into this component. This specific one is not going to work in this scenario, but it's just a normal part that you draw up and you use it within your lattice tool. Just a few things to remember when you do that. Try to use your default accuracy settings within these things, just to make it a little bit quicker and you don't spend too much time on regenerating things like that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm not going to use the custom one, just wanted to show you that. So we can go back to this one and say edit definition. And let's go to our cell type. So here we can go and we can, so that's our default one now. So we can change the size, we can skew it with a different angle. We can make it formula driven. You can say, let's do a diamond. And let's add a few values in here, see what we can get up to. Just going to make that wall thickness. So there's a quick one that we've added. and keep the density like that. Let's see what that will give us. Okay, so there we go. So something completely different with just a few clicks. So you can play around with those settings, and you can make and break these and get the type that you want. You can also add some beams and the custom one. So where's let's go back to this one. Let's see what that's going to do. So something like that, fairly quick and easy. So you can go from really basic shapes to more complicated shapes fairly quickly and get the result that you need. Okay. Okay, so let's cancel that one, and then let's go and do some augmented reality stuff. So I'm quickly going to show you that. I think this is the last one of the new stuff that I really wanted to show today. So what we'll do is we'll publish this, and we can send this link to anybody, and they can view the part. There's a link that they can, when you send them the link, they can download the application on their tablets, on their phones, or wherever they want to view this. So it's fairly easy, and it's a quick thing to do. So the first thing that you'll need to do is you'll need to specify a target. So you can either have a spatial target, or you can use the think mark. For this exercise, I'm going to use the spatial target. So it's just a plane that you select. So when the user is placing this in their environment, they will need to select a flat surface. Okay, so if you're going to put this on a table, or you want to put it on the ground, they just select that, and it's going to line this up with whatever they selected on their side. And that will bring in the CAD geometry, and they will see it within the current environment. So let's quickly do that. I'm just going to tell it, well, that's who I want it to be. So if they place it on the ground, it's going to line that up. Let's give it a 627, something like that. Okay, so fairly straightforward. And then from there, we're going to publish the model. So now it will create that. So if you're using the free version, you can, I can use my PTC account stuff here. So let's type that in. Boundary uses. Boom. Okay, and then I need to set my quality. So do I want it medium, high, or that all depends on where you are in the design stage. If it's just a quick thing to show somebody, you can use low. If you want it to be a little bit more detailed, you can use high. I'm going to select that target, and that's going to publish the model. Okay. So there was a few parts in there. So let's give it a second or two. Okay. There's a few links. This track, so large assemblies will take a little bit more time. Obviously, then single part will be a lot quicker. Yeah, there we go. So it says everything is fine. Close that. And then from here I can manage the model. So this is also something new within Creo 6 now. So yeah, I can manage the model. So I don't have the right access on my PTC account, but if you're the admin, you should be able to set who can access it. Is it for public or just specific users? So I can go from here and I can say, well, share the link. So I can email the link if I want to, or I can just copy it, put it in wherever, mail it to somebody or whatever the case might be. Let's see. Oh, my Outlook is closed, so I'm just gonna. There it's open. So this is basically the email that the end user will get. So it's going to give him the download app that it needs to download. If it's already installed on his device, it's going to open up in that particular application by default. And then this is the link to the actual publishing experience. So they just click it on their device. From there, they select the reference that you specified when you created this, and they can view it, and they can rotate, zoom in and out, and view it from different angles. Okay, so really nice. You can create 10 of them for free at the moment. Okay, so I'm not going to save that. I'm going to cancel this. Okay, so I think that's what I wanted to show in Creo 6 at this stage. So I'm going to mute myself for a minute or so, and then you can ask me a few questions, and I'll see if I can answer them. Okay, so get those questions in, and I'll take it from there. Okay, so there's no questions, so then I'll end the webinar with this. So in all the Creo versions, if you go to the help files, if you go file help Creo parametric help, it's going to take you to the online help, which is this window, and you can see all the what's new information in here. So there was some model-based definition stuff that was added, so you can narrow down and look at certain things that's more applicable to your work environment. And then there's also some nice videos on some of them. I would say about 80% of them have a video that you can watch that will explain to you what the new benefits are and how to use the new tool. So if you're working more in the manufacturing environment, so here's all the additive manufacturing things, and then some B-axis things that was changed as well. If you're working with a lot of simulation stuff, surfacing stuff, drawings, so that's all things that you can go and look at. Okay, so there's still no questions, so I think then I'm gonna end the webinar. Thank you everybody for joining us today, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.